Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl Ashley So Audacious, and we are back with episode 6, part 2. Okay, I'm about to get my guests back in here and we about to get into it.
I'm back.
Hey boo.
Hey.
Let me get the other girls back in here. That was getting too good.
It was getting too good.
I refuse to let that cut off on me
Yes,
at that hour. I was like,
it
nah,
was good.
we got to
I
get back.
was
We got to get back.
I was
Well,
sitting here like I'm already, I'm into it.
yeah, welcome
Yes, I
back
was
part
into
2, y'all. Part 2.
it.
Y'all, it's your girl Ashley So Audacious, and we back with episode 6, part 2, y'all. We got
Hey.
Yes.
Noonie, we got Brittany, and Kayla gonna be in here in a minute, okay?
She's probably taking her shot.
This giving right here, this giving ladies' night coming soon.
Yes,
This
yes.
might be a thing, you know?
It might
I think they
be.
liking us. I think they feeling us. They feeling
I
us.
think so too.
Yes.
So Noonie, I have a question for you.
Yes, Brittany.
So you always seem so super duper sure of yourself to me and just a woman that knows what she wants. And so my question is, have you always felt that way? Like, is that innately who you are? Or is that something you had to step into?
I would say it was something I had to step into. Like I said, I pretty much I've been kind of on my own raising myself since I was 14. So when I think it was when I was in the military, I was like, I kind of made that decision where I was like, you know what, I'm gonna start living for me. Like, forget what everybody else thinks, start living for me. And so I would do certain things, like I would say, okay, it was just little things. Like I said, I wanted this car. And then I would do the things I needed to do to get the car, but the next thing you know, I would have it. So I said, okay, cool. So then I tried it again with something else. And I tried it again with something else. So I started noticing that everything that I start saying that I wanted, it started kind of manifesting itself and it started
Mm-hmm.
happening. So I said, okay, so this is the trick. Like, I got to believe in myself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not only believe in myself, but really like do what I need to do to get there. And I believe that the discipline really comes from just being in the military and just really just kind of being your own person to kind of lean on. So that's pretty much how I got into it. So now I know like, okay, like I'm very strategic with my stuff. That's just how I always been. So a lot of times, like when we have events and stuff like that, like I'm not enjoying it, and it's not purposely, but I'm just so this like the military me, like this in
Yeah.
my head, like 24/7. So I'm all right, checking off my T's, making all right, this is 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 right. You probably see me walking around the first event,
I
like
was about to say that.
yeah. So that's just me. So just very
Thank
just like
you.
strategic with my stuff. Because I know my overall goal and I'm like I know what I have to do to get there. I have somewhat of the discipline. So I just do it. And I know I can do anything. I know I can do anything.
I think that's important.
Yes.
I definitely get that vibe from you too. Like a lot of confidence, and I feel like you are the reason you are like you are because you've been through a lot. And I feel like a lot of people have let you down and you
Yeah.
decided that you won't be one of those people. You know what I'm saying? That's what I get from you.
Yeah, and then you gotta live your own life. You know what I mean? Like everybody has their things that they go through, and I understood like okay, I had to understand a lot of things. Like family. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be related to that person to be family. You can make your
Mm-hmm.
body. I had to learn through that. I had to learn how to cut people off and really just cut them off for my own sanity. So like I'm pretty straightforward. Like a lot of people like when they meet me, they know like okay, Noonie cool, but she about her business.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to school for business administration, so I know how to be cutthroat. I know, the do's and the don'ts, and don't go in business with your friends, and don't do this. So, like, I'm really just a straightforward person.
Shooter. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That remind me of one of my punchlines. I can't remember exactly, but it's like they say, blood thicker than water. We learned that in the basics, but we need water to live. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's for
That's a
real.
true statement.
Yes,
That's a
absolutely.
true statement.
And I feel like once you have that, like that's it. Um, once you can understand that, that is going to take you really far, you know.
Yeah.
That's what I had to learn myself. Like, okay, like, yeah, you might be this person, you might be that person, but you gotta go. You're in my way.
That's one thing
And
me
that's
and Brittany had a
hard.
conversation about this week
Yeah, it's hard.
before we even got the invite to speak tonight. It's so crazy. It's just like, everything is just so, full circle. And I had made the comment, me personally, just like with Noonie apart, like growing up, it just sometimes it leaves you sometimes no option besides being better. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And everybody's upbringing is different. Everybody's struggle is different. When you identify it and then you work towards not, going through those things. I, told Brittany, I struggle with the fact that everybody feels like they can go, and it's like, no, everybody wants the benefits of the work that I put in, and they haven't, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Everybody is still learning what sacrifice is, and I'm to the point where I'm teaching what sacrifice is.
Mhm.
I'm showing proof what sacrifice is, so me personally, I know I'm working on a personal goal for myself. It's really just detaching and learning that it's okay to detach, and detaching doesn't mean we don't speak at all.
Right.
Detaching doesn't mean that I'm speaking down on you. I wouldn't do that to anyone, but even someone that, you fall out with, so to speak, that is not what detaching is. It's just, showing yourself again back to boundaries, the boundaries that you can have for yourself and for people that are around you that don't always, mean you well or wish you well
Way.
or can even provide you well. It's nothing to say, hey, girl, good job on your event last week, da 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 da, and to some people that's nothing, but to entrepreneurs, I know that's, people think like it's, you see that and hear those things all the time. Yes, we do. But again, back to Ashley, she was speaking about her podcast, you want some things to be so organic that you really can't explain, why it matters. You know what I'm
That's where
saying?
I'm at.
So once
That's
you
where I'm at.
learn
Like
to
I've been
separate that, it's the better off.
Mhm.
like in my life, I've been so like business driven, get this one, do this. And I won't really sitting down, like taking the time for me, like actually, but what do you really want? Like you good at this, you good at that. Yeah, I know you can do that, but like, what do you really need to be doing? And I feel like this summer, like I really set myself down, like, and I kind of like let a lot of stuff go. Like even if it was something that was, monetary, like bringing me money, like I just felt like it wasn't giving me purpose, and I just let a lot go this summer, and I just like really put my energy into me, and then one day I was just like, I'm starting the podcast in September. Like I was supposed to start this podcast January 21. I was supposed to start the podcast because I
Oh.
had got on Clubhouse. I had met a lot of people. I had went down to Atlanta, met mad business owners, super like connections, and I still got those connections right now, and still like talk to these people. So I was like, yeah, I'm about to do this, and I had this whole plan, but it wasn't the time. The time was for me to go and meet those people, make those connections, those genuine connections, and sit on them until it was time for me to do what I was supposed to do. But like I was saying, like September, I was like, September the 5th, the first Monday of September, I'm starting this podcast. I don't have the funds to be going to no studio and recording every week. I was like, all right, so how I'm gonna do it? I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do an Instagram live podcast. It's free. And as I go and as I grow, I'm just gonna get my stuff and make my plan. Like I'm in the middle of, I just finished my business model canvas for this podcast, like really breaking down this business, everything I'm gonna need. I'm doing it through a program with HU. My next, I just finished, and it's crazy because this week I just finished like the first level of that program. I got my emails today. Congratulations, your business model canvas look good. Da 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 da. Saying, okay, you're gonna move on to the next level in this program. So then my next thing is they're gonna give me sample business plans. And they're gonna help me build my business plan, but they graded me. These are professors from HU, and it's a free program. They're actually paying me to do this. They're paying me to help me build my business. You know what I'm saying? So I got you.
Yeah, I was
I
about to
got
say
you.
post the
But
link.
it's a process though. It's a process. Like a lot of people probably went into it thinking like, oh, I'm about to get this money. You know what I'm saying? But you really have to do the work. But it's worth it because you're literally helping yourself.
Right, and that's where I'm at right now. I feel like once you get to, again, back to the caterpillar and butterfly phase, you know, once you get to that level, like I was explaining to Noon one day, like you get to a certain level of entrepreneurship where, I mean, passion got to beat the pay at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And people have to understand that, again, you know, the sacrifices that you're going to make. Literally, I told you guys you ladies at the dinner, my way of thinking of it is, you know, with my entrepreneurship and the way that I'm moving and the way that I want to take my business, the direction I want to take my business, I literally want to be to a level of insanity. I want people to look at me and be like, I don't know why she keeps doing that, but she's doing a good job. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like once you lock in with that level of, you know, entrepreneurship where you feel like, you know, I'm ready to just take this to the next level, like people probably go into that program, you know, with the wrong mindset. And again, it's because passion has to be overpaid in the field of entrepreneurship. You can't wake up every day looking for invoices to be paid. And again, that goes back to that image that social media is giving us about entrepreneurship. Like
it's glorious.
That's not what it looked like. You know what I'm saying? That's not what it looked like. It's like every day is not going to be a payday in the field of entrepreneurship. Every day is not going to be a payout, a cash out, however you get paid. Every day is not going to be that. But when you can wake up every day and you see 5 mentions of your business page and somebody saying, hey, I wore this is me, and I suggest them for, that's when you're going to start unlocking those levels of, you know what I'm saying, tiers and different followings and purchasers and relationships for your business, because you realize like, okay, back to the program, sacrifice is what it takes. Like, okay, yes, it's a free program, but you have to genuinely want to know so much. Like, you have to be a sponge to the point where you just feel like it's all you want to know. You have to be an overload because it's so much. It's not enough that you can learn about progressing your business, especially when you're doing it yourself. Like, you can't go to an open door policy meeting, so to speak, anymore. You know what I'm saying? You can't go to your manager and complain about your spouse or your employee or your person that's working with you in a suite. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that anymore. Those days are long gone. So you have to learn how to have like those conversations and be cutthroat sometimes and be, you know, not always so friendly. You know, you have to be business minded, business oriented, and it's some things that we can't learn from friends. So definitely, I would say it's a good look that you lock it in with that program, because
the plan literally don't work if you don't work it, and like it's literally at your own speed. So how quickly you progress is in your hands. So if you finish this program next year, then that's on you. But if you finish it in 3 months, you know what I'm saying, good for you. Like, so it's like a self-paced type of program. And I definitely will link y'all with the information. Like, I don't know if y'all already like got your complete business plan laid out, because a lot of us, like me, if you don't start, you're not gonna get there. So we don't always start with all the tools that we need. It's about evolving and growing and you know, learning new things as we go and learning what we need. Like we said, entrepreneurship is not easy, and it's not a manual that they just give you. Okay, like when you go get your business license, they don't tell you, okay, well, you need to pay your taxes this time every month. You need to do this. Oh, you got to have one of these too. You find out when you get that paper in the mail. You feel like, oh shoot,
what?
So
ain't nobody said nothing.
What is that?
Right? It's so much research and energy and time, and that's why I just wanted to make sure I was going to be putting time into something that was worth it for me. Like, y'all know, I had my brand Audacious Stare, and that's still my baby. I love it, but I feel like actually that won't it, and it's okay to take a break.
You put your clothing line?
I took a break from it. I feel like right now, and it's so crazy because Hella Audacious podcast is not even monetary right now, but it's gonna be, because I got a whole plan of things that's gonna surround this. It's gonna be events that surround this. It's gonna be self-help materials that surround this. Like, my thing is, my power is in my voice. And then that's another crazy part. I said I was gonna start this podcast in September. Why June? I got sick, and I've been hoarse off and on every week since June. Like, you can hear me right now. Like, I don't know what it is. It's been lingering. Like, I ain't had COVID, whatever. I just got sick in June. I felt horrible, got over it, and like my voice been going hoarse in and out ever since then. But as long as I got this voice, like I drank like my hot tea, I got my little rituals I do. Some days better than other, but I was like, this podcast getting started.
Right.
You
And
know,
I
I
just
was telling
Well,
people right before you about to break through, that's when things start to get a little crazy.
And this
yes,
summer,
Facts.
this summer been crazy for me. I mean, the roller coaster been real, baby. Like the roller coaster been real, but
Mine
like
too.
if you just go back and like look at my Instagram feed, like I've been enjoying the good and the bad of this whole summer. Like, and I just found so much peace in just accepting my journey.
yes.
And
Can I say something?
go ahead.
You are creating. That's what you're doing. So when you have your clothing line, you have your podcast, you're about to do events, spoken word, you are creating. And that's what it is about. That is something that you cannot put a price on. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They're not gonna know just actually by just a podcast. They're gonna know you by your clothing line. They're gonna know you about the events. They're gonna know you as an artist, they're gonna know you as a poet. That you want that ripple effect. And that's what it's about. People think you gotta get yourself out of that box. Out of that box. Like literally, I would turn my booking app off quick and I would be here painting my house. I can show you my house. Then painting my house. I've been over here for a few days just painting.
Look, I
I'm
saw
about to
you
start
post
building. I'm about to make sofas and couches, and I'm chilling because we're creating, you know. So
Right.
it's like, and it's always that ripple effect. Somebody's gonna know you from something. I go in the store and I say, "Oh, I remember your music." Okay, I haven't did music in a long time, but they know it. I go
Right.
somewhere else. Oh, you did the event. They know about the event. Oh, you do here. Oh, you do makeup. Yes,
and
that's what you're creating.
another big thing for me is legacy.
Yeah.
When I leave here, I want people to be able to say I helped them, that I made their day. I done made hella people laugh. I'm good for that. I'm good for a laugh. I could be having the worst day of my life, but we gonna laugh, baby, and it's gonna be from a genuine place.
Don't
Right.
laugh.
And it's gonna be from a genuine place. Like, and I've always been that person for people. Like, and I feel like my purpose is in that, and I don't need a reward for it. My reward is that I help that person. They don't even gotta help me back, because that's how I get through. Like this whole
God's
summer,
gift.
I could not have made it through if I wasn't the person that I am. And I would give my last off my back. Like a lot of people don't even know that they received my last because I ain't even tell them.
Right.
I ain't even tell them. And I don't always got the monetary to give, but it's so many people who, like, sometimes when I be around people, and y'all probably see this, I just get real random and I get to talking about stuff. I don't know why I started talking about it. I don't know why they was meant to hear what I'm talking about, but I just start talking and I just start saying these things, and I be feeling like this person needs to hear that. And it just be like, it just be a moment. And the most of the time is, when I'm on cloud nine.
Hey,
Right.
When I get
that's
on
you
cloud
become a
nine,
philosopher, okay?
Right. Right.
baby, I go to a whole nother level. I be on some
Yes.
like all my ideas come to life. All my ideas come to life, baby. I be like,
That's
oh
me.
yeah, okay. Oh, this is what I'm about to do.
Yep.
Like the whole poem is written. I done wrote the whole poem. The song is
Right.
complete. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Business plan and all.
Like, so when I get into that certain vibe, I just love that experience. I love experiencing that moment that I have with people when I do that.
And I mean, honestly, I feel like that to me, like being able to relate to a complete stranger is the most pure form that you will receive from the universe, that you are doing your exact work. I can't tell you how many times I have been talking to someone or someone talking to me, and I know you all have had the same instances, and like it doesn't make sense right then, but something in your mind makes you think about that conversation that you had with that person, and it makes sense because it has to make sense. It's designed to make sense, you know what I'm saying? But it's something so healing. I know, because the episode, is about self-healing and healing and all, but me personally, I'm like, I feel like I could be a philosopher in self-healing. You know what I'm saying? And it's something just so pure about when you can meet someone who they're not necessarily verbally expressing the pain or the struggle or the strife or whatever they may be going through, but you can see it, you can feel it. And the reason why you can is because once you were there, once you wanted someone to see those things in you, once you wanted someone to stop and say, how you doing today?
Absolutely.
Or, you know, I know me, I'm the type of person like, Ashley, I'm gonna laugh. And I know me, I could come up with a joke and drop of a dime. So I don't care if it's, you know, the guy standing in front of the store, if I'm, you know, at my son's football game or practice, and, you know, it's someone that I see. You know, I seen someone the other day and I seen them post a status on Facebook, probably maybe 2 weeks ago. And it's the first time that I seen them, but I knew that they, you know, their child played for the same organization. And when I seen her, you know, I let her know, I was like, you know, come give me a hug, please. Because, you know, I don't know if anybody let you know that they seen you, but the vulnerability in me and the growth in me and the healed me was able to tell this woman, you're going to be okay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? And mean that, because, again, you have to been somewhere to tell somebody where they're going. You know what I'm saying? Or where the destination could possibly lead. But
and a lot of my stuff be like, my intuition is crazy, and sometimes I hate it, because I'm like, I don't want to know this. I don't want to, you know, like my mind is so crazy. Like, how my intuition work is really crazy. But I mean, I love it, but at the same time, it's be like, look, I just want to let it play out. I don't want to already know. I don't want to already know this.
Right.
But that's like one of the scariest things for me. Like, sometimes my intuition be so point where I'm like, how do I know this? Like, how do I know? And I can feel it. And like, people can literally sit up here and be smiling at me and act like everything okay, but I feel it, and I can't. I be like, look, do we need to talk about something? Like, you're not even in the same room with me, and I feel your energy all the way down the street. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I be having to like, hey, like, are we good? Everything good? And like, I know some people be like, she reaching, she being like, or may take it as me being negative, or might be thinking like, no, I feel it. I feel it's this. Let's talk about it. Like,
yeah,
let's talk about it, because
I think of it as like the veil is lifting. I think like just the phase we're in life, and the year, it's kind of like God and the universe are showing us things that we can't unsee.
Mask
so like
off, mask
off. Mask
That's
off.
what that is.
Like, whatever we're feeling internally, whatever people are feeling about us, whatever is going on in our external world, we can't unsee it. We can't ignore it anymore. So it's like you have to make a conscious decision to be like, I'm just not going to pay attention to that, because God is going to shove it in your face right now. And I feel like that's been going on for like at least the last couple of years for me. And it's been forcing me to heal, because it's like red pill, blue pill. I don't have a choice but to make a choice. I can't be aimless anymore.
Right.
So I got to figure out which.
That's a part of growth, when you know that you have to, you know, ultimately decide. And I mean, it's a cliche saying, but are you going to be a worker, or are you going to be the boss? You know what I'm saying? And it just comes to a point where
I don't know.
It's like you can't play both sides. You know what I'm saying? You can't expect people to respect you on a boss level if you still having employee conversations. You know what I'm saying? You still sitting at the lunch table with employees. You can't, in the break room, so to speak. You know, and all of these are just, you know, figuratively speaking. But I'm just saying, you know, when you get to that level of deciding that you're really going to be, you know, boss on that level, like, that's a part of you that, you know, when you put that out there, you can't one foot in, one foot out that, you know what I'm saying, expect people to give you respect and respect you as a person that in your mind you think that you're doing all that you can do. But you got to really decide, are you going to be the worker, you know, or are you going to be somebody that's a boss?
And sometimes it's not always time for us to be the boss. Sometimes we got to learn how to serve the people around us too.
Exactly.
Like, I'm sure all of us, within the things we do, we got people in our life that really could help us grow what we're doing, but they don't realize, they so busy wanting to be doing the same thing you're doing, or they're ready to be a boss when it's not their time. Sometimes you have to serve the people around you and help them grow, because they're going to bring you with you, and you're going to grow into who you're supposed to be just on that journey. Like, serving the people around you as well.
And understand that you're where you are because you're supposed to be there, right?
And you might like, I don't know. I think I'm on the underdog side of this conversation. Like, I don't want to be an entrepreneur.
Right. It's not for everybody.
My goal is not to be a boss
Mm-hmm.
in my life. Like, I don't think about these sorts of things. I don't think about whether I want to be an employee. I don't think about like stuff like that. And I don't know if I should actually.
I think you should. I think you need to figure. I think it's time
I think
that
you should.
and figure out what is it that Brittany wants to do.
Brittany says she's gonna write
Because
a book. Brittany
you
says
wanna
she's gonna write a book.
Well, I'll be writing my second book.
You write your
That part.
right.
It'll be my second book. But yeah, I do want to write it. But I do all of that because I like to do it because it's fun. And I think for other people in this conversation who hasn't stepped into their boss mode or whatever, like y'all may have, like for me, it's hard to even step into that identity of, if we talking self-worth and self-love. Like, to me, I write. I'm a good poet. I can really write a good poem for you right now. Am I an author? I don't know. Am I a poet? Sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a mind fuck, for lack of a better word, like of truly stepping into a label and responsibility and what that means for how I move going forward.
I think that you underlook yourself. Like, are you a poet? Yes, you are a poet. You're a hell of a poet.
Well, yeah, I'm a poet.
Are you an author? Yes, you are an author. You are a hell of an author. So you have to learn how to accept that.
Yeah.
You have
and
to
I
learn.
tell people all the time, they start businesses. People have this bad habit, you know what I'm saying? Like, girl, my little business, yeah,
I
I got a
this
little
small
t-shirt business.
don't say
You
that.
know, it's not that, and when, I use the terminology, boss over worker, like it's that was, for this conversation, I feel like the easiest way to kind of split what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
But it's so many ways to cut that conversation, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And, at the end of the day, you might not be ready to be at the part of the conversation where it's, boss over employee. You might be at the part of the conversation where we just filling out the application. I'm trying to see how I like it here. I'm not really ready for a
Figure
promotion.
yourself out.
Facts.
So it's okay. It's, again, everything is transitioning. It doesn't matter how long or how many days we spend doing the same thing. Something every day is going to change. Mm-hmm. Something is going to be different in every single day, so that we can try to learn it's just the way the universe is set up, because that's how humans are designed, to adapt. So every day there's going to be something that we have to adapt to. So you adapting to right now, accepting your identity, not necessarily labeling yourself, but accepting your identity. And I will speak for myself when I tell you, it took me so long, and it's still hard for me to accept who I have worked so hard to become. And it's because for so long, like, you're used to being, you're used to saying, I'm okay with 50-50 in myself.
Right.
I'm okay with some days I'm gonna do this, some days I'm gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning that, when you get it figured out, you still have time to do your boss stuff, and then you still have time, like now, for me to do things that I genuinely love, that mean the most to me. Speaking to people, talking to people that are like-minded and strong-willed like myself. You know what I'm saying? So you might just be, filling out the place right now. You might not necessarily be looking for a promotion to boss. You might just be wanting to just hang out for a bit and see what it got to offer. And
that's okay.
That's okay.
Right, yeah.
That's perfectly fine.
Brittany,
sitting in your purpose. Like, I feel like we said, everybody not meant to be, like, that goes back to when I said sometimes it's your time to serve. It's not your, it's not your time to be at a specific title. It's your time to serve, but as long as you finding purpose in it. I feel like as long as you finding purpose in what you're doing, that's what you're supposed to be doing. Like,
right.
Everybody can't be a boss, because, like, how? If we all bosses, who gonna help us?
You need followers and you need leaders.
Who gonna help us? Who gonna help us? You know what I'm saying? So everybody not really meant to be a boss for real. And that's not, like we said, that's not everybody's desire. Some people are meant to serve, and that's where they find their purpose in. And I feel like this summer, just going back to that, I spent this summer like learning myself what I really wanted outside of monetary things, like outside of money. What did I want for my life? You know, like I wanted a peace of mind. I wanted to have a peaceful household. I wanted my environment to feel a certain type of way. So those are things that I worked on. Like I kind of like really set my business to a side, and I was like, yo, I need to get my household together. So I moved.
Yeah. Ooh, that was me.
I moved because the vibe where I was, like, it was just like a vibe that I just couldn't do it no more. Like I literally broke my lease and everything. I was like, I got to get us up out of there. You know what I'm saying? So I moved.
Because sacrifice
sacrifice
and sanity go hand in hand.
Right.
Sometimes you have to sacrifice whatever you have to sacrifice for the sake of your sanity, because if you don't make a sacrifice, you're going to lose your sanity.
Exactly.
And
That's a fact.
Exactly.
it's just that simple. It's just that simple. You would not be the productive parent that you are. You would not be the productive podcast host that you are. You would not be the productive event sponsor host that you are. It's so many things that go into play. And I always tell people one thing, one word I don't play about is energy. I don't play about it, because when you really do your work and you break yourself down to the bone and you understand and you get in tune with yourself and with the universe and whatever belief that you have, you understand it's something that people can't play with you about. You know what I'm saying? And when you in a place that you come home every day, or you come to every day, and you feel like, all right, let me put the gloves on, and there's nobody even there.
Right.
You and your kids.
Look, I got them three
like you have to make a
behind
change.
me.
Yeah,
You have to make a change.
important. That is
good
so
for you
important.
for doing that, resetting and restarting for yourself.
The environment is just so important for me. Like if I can't come home and feel like I want to be here, that, you know what I'm saying, nothing else in my life is gonna work. And that's just me. Like that's why I keep my kids out in nature. Like we went to go see the sunrise this summer, and it was so priceless. It was so beautiful. Like my daughter still talking about that. Every time they see colors in the sky, they be like, "Mommy, those like that like the sun." Like they still talking about it. It was priceless, and I just want to, you know, give them more experiences than versus like what I can buy for them. I wanted just to provide them with experiences. So we stay out in nature. We go and have picnics in the middle of Minchville Park, you know, and just like just the things that's priceless. And that's what I spent this summer doing for real. Because honestly, I ain't really had the funds to be doing nothing crazy for real, because I had these other goals I was working towards. So I made up for that with stuff that money couldn't even buy for real.
And that's what it's all about, just like the wealth part. I think that to me, I really don't like social media. If you ask me, you know, social media is like the devil's playground, but you know, to each his own. But one thing I know is that social media takes us away from the reality. You know, it takes us away from actually going down the road, taking a walk in the park, and really looking at the trees and the animals and, you know, everything that God has to offer. We get a lot of times we get sidetracked, whether we're working our 9 to 5 and we're at work every single day, busting our behinds for somebody just to, you know, live paycheck to paycheck. Like, it's just, you know, or we're being an entrepreneur, we feel like, you know, because we don't have that set schedule, we have to keep going. No, we have to live. Like, it's really about living. And once you understand, like, yourself as a person, and you know how much power that you have, and you know how much things that you can do, like you know, if you can't understand it, I think you're going to be like stuck in like the matrix is what I call it. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Really,
you gotta learn how to balance it all too.
Yes, you can take the time and say, you know what, today I don't feel like doing anything. I want to lay in my bed. I want to relax. I want to light my few candles. I want to take me a hot bubble bath. I want to chill. Or you could wake up and you could say, you know what, I'm going to go take a drive 3 hours. Go drive 3 hours. You can go sit on the beach all day. Like, you have that control to do that, because this your life. This your chapter.
Right. And that reset is important, because just by doing that now you got the energy to head into this busy day, or you got the mindset to figure out this problem you've been trying to figure out all week, but you've been so tired and you had all this stuff racing through your mind, you couldn't really break it down. But taking those moments to reset, you can come back and step back into it with a clear mind and really be able to break it down like you need to.
And that's an expression of self-love.
Yes, Brittany, I break all the time, okay? Let me tell you something. I'm breaking now. I don't care how many appointments I get this month. Whatever. I'll be all right. You know, because I have other things that I have in place for that. But taking a break is like so important to me because I didn't crash out before. I didn't damn near lost my mind before. Like I would take as many breaks. I encourage people to take as many self-love breaks. Hell, my kids take self-love breaks from school. You know, so it's important. Like it's so important to just take that time to yourself and just relax, you know, like just to relax.
Yeah.
And
Because
That's
breathe,
why
time
honestly, and realize that it's all will be okay. Just
that's
yes,
why I'm trying to
breathe.
get that passive and that residual income rolling in. So it'll be so much easier to take those breaks too. Because sometimes, you know, when we got the rent man and everybody else
yes,
on our back, we robbing Peter to pay Paul. Sometimes you're like, dang, I can't even afford to take a break. But in all
right.
actuality, that break might help you figure out that next step that you need to take. But
That part.
And I've learned with myself that a lot of times when I feel like I need to take a break, it's like taking a break from whatever goals and goal setting and goal planning and things like that I'm working on. It don't always make me feel better. Like sometimes I feel better setting the goal and reaching the goal than I do taking the break.
That's
So
me.
it yeah, so it's like it's a battle of evaluating and being introspective enough to really know what you really need.
it's
Because
going
a
to be
lot of
different
times
for
for me,
everybody.
I get just bored and unmotivated with the 9 to 5 everyday monotony. It just be like, I'm sick of this shit, basically, for lack of a better word.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
just the routine is annoying. So, switching it up and having something that does feed me, like a conversation like this, or doing something outside my box or outside my norm or whatever, it actually feeds me. But when I'm thinking about it initially, it's like, oh, I ain't got time for that. But
Right.
if I be like, okay, do you really not have time for it? Like, is it
What
something
is
that you
time?
need?
What is time?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, time. I don't worry about
Time
time.
is number one. Time is relative. Two is like, what is it that you need? Because you might be drained off the shit you don't need no way.
Right.
That you don't need to be doing anyway. Do you need a detox from social media? Do you need to take some time? Like when you come home, do you need to not binge this TV show? Do you need to eat better?
Yeah,
Do you need to be
yeah,
working out? You
that's
know
right.
what I'm saying? So
That's
it's really like actually taking some time to evaluate yourself. What
mm-hmm.
is it that I actually need? So I'm not making decisions emotionally driven or, something like that.
But that's
I
where
get
discipline comes into play too. Because yes, it is
Oh,
good to reset and take those breaks, but we got to know how many breaks can I really afford? How can I balance this? Because I really that comes with discipline too. Because of course we can't be breaking every day, you know.
Yeah, and I
yeah.
think I'm at the point where I'm kind of like opposite. I'm like, I don't take enough breaks. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So I'm kind of like, I'm like, all right, how much work can I really afford?
You gotta be like this.
How much time can I really afford? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like
Mm-hmm.
it's just so much 50-50, you know. It's what works for you. And then it's like if you try something that doesn't work, it's like, okay. Like you said, like Brittany, I could try to lay in the bed. I could try that,
Mm-hmm.
but it ain't gonna work. Cause I
It
feel
ain't
like,
gonna
yeah.
work.
I feel
Because
like,
you
damn,
gotta worry
tomorrow I
about how your
know I
money
have
fucked
A,
up
B, and C to
I
do.
don't.
So
later.
let me get up and take care of what I can take care of today. You know what I'm
Exactly.
But
saying?
sometimes it's not always physical work. Sometimes you can lay in the bed and mentally
Oh
and
yes, I
mentally
don't even want to
work.
talk about the mental jog, baby. That's every night. That's every night
Yeah,
when you go
and
to
mentally
bed.
work.
I'm talking about when I'm trying to do the free time. Okay, the free time is definitely. But every night, that's when them thoughts, the memes when they say when
Yeah,
you go to
girl.
sleep, and my brain.
Her phone messed up.
So it's a battle.
Yeah.
Well, Brittany, I wanted to share something with you. Oh shoot, I hear her. Okay, Kate. Okay, your
Yeah,
phone's
went out for a
was messed.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think we met. Okay.
But yeah, Brittany. One of the things I wanted to say was one of the things I learned reading the book is that I don't stress about the money either. I don't care about it. It's cool. It's all right. I know we need it, but it's never the mindset of like I'm like having anxiety thinking about it or how I'm gonna make the next thing. And
Yeah.
I read that paragraph. I read it in Rich Dad Poor Dad. I was looking at my little bank account and I was like, how the heck am I supposed to do this? Like this don't make
Yeah.
like, you know. But I just was like, you know what? I'm gonna try. I was like, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do what he said. I'm gonna try. And I tell you, like since then, it's been up, and I
What
don't
book?
about that. Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, and so he said, you know, they don't stress about that, and so I think like changing that mind frame too, because it's like we hold, you know, that to such a high standard.
We
When
do.
we are, you know, like we wait we hold way more value than that. So
Right.
just your perspective on how you look at it and make it work for you versus, you know what I'm saying, you depending on it is going to alleviate so much stress out of your life.
Yes. I have realized I have an unhealthy view of money.
You need that book called How Money Works.
Yes.
Try to find it for you. I think I have it here somewhere. I'm gonna look
if you
for it.
do,
I would definitely give it to you. Yes.
Yes.
There, it breaks it down like to the
Yeah.
T. Give you a better understanding, you know?
Right.
To me, money drives people to do such terrible things. And I'm such an empath and such a super moral, value driven, blah, blah, blah person or whatever, that oftentimes I can't stand money. I can't stand what money makes people do. So when I'm trying to switch from author to business person, and like I'm usually getting fussed at with my friends or my mentor or whatever, like, what about the money part? What about the this? And it's hard for me to flip my mind to even think about that because I'm just so like, I gotta get into that.
Well, you don't worry about that because, like I said, it's gonna come, and I'm definitely gonna give you the books. But you are the creator, okay?
Yeah.
That has value within itself. So as long as you continue to create and you continue to, you know, embrace your creativity, that's all you need. Now, of course, you need to learn like the basics of, you know, how to run a business, stuff like that. But create.
Yeah,
Just
do my part.
Do your part.
Right.
You know, that's the best gift that God has for you. And use it, you know, and when you tap into it fully and you keep using it, everything else is gonna come along the way. But keep creating. Don't stop creating. Clothing lines, Ashley.
Yeah.
Keep going, pop in, pop out. I'm about to bring mine out in a few months too. You know what I'm saying? Keep doing it.
But that's why I said I was going to incorporate all of this into the Hella Audacious. Like, I was going to incorporate everything I love to do into this because this is going to be my platform to reach everybody that I need to reach through this right here. Like, it's all, like you said, like, I just try and take my time with things and do it when I feel it and I feel it need to be done because everything that I've been doing my whole career and all the things I've done is leading me to this right here. When I was a rapper, I met so many people, so many different connections that didn't even have anything to do with music. I met photographers, I met caterers, I met hosts, you know, and like they're meant to come back, and all these connections were meant for this right here. My kids is wilding.
It's okay. And I'm starting to get a smidge tired.
My kids is in there wilding.
Sorry.
Yo, that 3-year-old got the 7-year-old going through it. Like, what?
Them kids, man, I'm telling you, they different.
It'd be ridiculous. Skylar said meanie booty. Like, go to them.
That's because we're supposed to be off at 8:50 and we ain't off yet.
All right, go back to Skylar. Go. I'm coming.
On the schedule. They're like, hold on,
right. These kids like, listen, I was quiet for an hour now.
Look, they said, look, you can did your show. That show
was
But no,
I think we had a great show.
Y'all. I really enjoyed talking to y'all tonight. I can't wait to see y'all this weekend.
Hey, I'm excited.
It's gonna be lit. I feel like
Noonie, will you be sending the addresses on Saturday? The address.
Do they have the address? Yeah, I guess I'll send the address. Address.
To be announced for right now.
Oh shoot. Okay. Well, yeah, the ones that send the ticket, I'm gonna send the address to them. I'll make sure I get it tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Definitely promote heavy. You gotta definitely promote heavy. Everybody be last minute with their stuff, per usual. But
but
I'm definitely gonna flood this week, like especially like from Wednesday to the weekend, because you know they might have seen it last week, but they just forgot.
Once it gets they're gonna be like, oh, we have something to do.
Yeah, that's what it's gonna be. You already know. But I'm okay. I'm okay with that.
So if
I'm
y'all
excited.
looking for a nice chill vibe, you know, laid back, you know, if y'all like what y'all saw tonight, all of us gonna be there. Y'all pull up. I'm gonna post the link here and on my personal IGs. So y'all, it's episode 6, part 2. I really appreciate these ladies. We definitely gonna have to do it again. Hella Audacious podcast show, hella emphasis on something audacious, taking the surprisingly bold risks, being bold. Like, so we hella audacious. We not just being bold, we being hella bold. We living our life.
Yes, I like
Doing
that.
what we want to do, taking risks every day just by being ourselves. So y'all make sure y'all
Yes, I
following
love
everybody
that.
here on the podcast. We're gonna be back every Monday. I'm gonna be back every Monday. I really think that these ladies gonna be back too. I feel like we you know, we did something.
You can do this.
Yes.
And it's so crazy because in the chat we was talking about this. I was like, I should have y'all on here one day and we should do a ladies' night. And then this literally happened by accident. I was like, you know what? I know
That's
it would be
how
a
it
good
be.
idea.
That's how it be.
It was perfect. It was divine timing. But again, I really do thank you, ladies. I can't wait to vibe with y'all this weekend. It's been real. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Y'all make sure y'all go show this video some love when it drops. And we'll see you next Monday.
See y'all Saturday.
All right. Hella dope guests with hella honest conversation. If that's what you're looking for, meet me here every Monday. I gotta go. My kids is
Bye.
Good night, y'all.
Night.